Hello, this is Dr. J back with some more Let's Play Zone of the Enders. Before we move on, there was one other thing I wanted to point out. In this game, in this universe, there's sort of two broad classifications of giant robots. Jehuty and the unmanned drones we've been fighting are orbital frames. And through some sort of vaguely unspecified way, the discovery of Metatron, I think, enabled the production of the orbital frames. And you can see all the Metatron in Jehuty. You can see the light pulsing through what almost look like veins. I think that's the Metatron that is built into Jehuty's frame. The precursor to the orbital frames are called LEVs or LEVs. I actually don't remember what that stands for. And the Earth Forces giant robots that we've seen, those are actually LEVs, not orbital frames. And because they're an entire previous generation of giant robot, they are a lot weaker. They are much more cumbersome and bulky and don't have nearly as many sophisticated technological capabilities. And I seem to remember reading that they intentionally designed the Earth Forces LEVs to kind of resemble space shuttles if they were transformed into a giant robot, to sort of emphasize the comparative bulkiness and cumbersomeness of them. So I just think that's kind of cool. The orbital frames are all designed to look really sleek and maneuverable. The LEVs are supposed to be real bulky and clumsy looking. And they really kind of do look a lot like the space shuttle, don't they? Even the black and white color scheme. So yeah, I just wanted to point that out. Anyway, our mission now is obtain colony info necessary for mission completion from the local server in Factory 1. And try not to use Metatron when Jehuty still has sufficient durability remaining. In other words, don't waste life refills by picking up Metatron if you're almost at full health anyway. So it sounds like we're going to be moving on to Factory 1. Which is over here. No SOS signals, so straight on to our next mission objective area.
Now we will head for the local server to transplant the necessary information. But first, we need to destroy the enemy with the passcode for the local server.
I see.
The star-marked frames show the leaders. Destroying the leader first will lower the level of the entire party.
Okay, so that's a new mechanic we've been introduced to. If there's a group with an enemy leader, then fighting the leader first is recommended. Okay, we've already targeted the leader, so... Alright, now the rest of the party should level down. By the way, something else I haven't showed off yet. Let me try and do it on this guy. You can grab and throw enemies, which is kind of cool. Alright, we have the passcode. Now, there it is. The local server is that spinning green column. Looks like it is behind us and to our left.
Damage to the surroundings increasing due to battle.
Yeah, well, I can't save everything, Ada. Okay. Alright, well, we got intercepted by the enemy. Okay, that one was pretty much on me. I was just blatantly opening fire in the middle of a bunch of buildings. There. One nice thing about the throw is it can penetrate shields, so if the enemy stubbornly is keeping their shields up, then a throw can be one way to try to penetrate that. Man, we are just wrecking this poor colony. There's the server.
We have obtained the program. Let me give you the next mission instructions. Depart the industrial area.
Okay, those are pretty simple mission instructions, Ada. I don't think there is anything else we need to do in this area. Didn't see any other passcodes or servers anyway.
Let me report the current situation status. The enemy has taken over the colony's EPS system in order to win mastery of the air.
EPS?
All civilian flying objects in the colony are fueled by microwave energy from the outer EPS system, as mandated by the Environmental Protection Law. The enemy is using the EPS to form a barrier, a microwave energy field in the sky over the colony.
You mean it's dangerous?
Yes. Being within the energy field is like being in a microwave oven. Jehuty itself would not suffer much damage, but any vital life form would not survive.
Leo. So what can we do?
We have no choice but to disrupt the energy field by destroying the EPS system. This colony block has 2 facilities which supply EPS energy. 2 EPS antennas are housed in 2 mountains in the center of the colony. By turning these 2 antennas to face each other, the enemy has created a massive microwave energy field in the center of the colony. Our first task is to destroy those 2 EPS antennas. There is another related target. You see the colony shaft ahead of us? It carries the main power supply to the EPS antennas from the axis of the colony. By damaging the relay block of the shaft, we can weaken the EPS energy flow, if not stop it.
So, the shaft and 2 antennas. Okay, let's do it.
Current status is that the EPS antennas are not accessible. We should journey to block D07, where the shaft is located. I will show you with a marker on the screen.
Not again.
I suggest you restrict yourself to your duties.
I know, but...
Oh, another SOS. Okay, well, we're going to try to do all those, as I said. Let's see if we can do a little better with rescuing people this time.
Detected vital activity near the church where your passenger was uploaded.
Someone must have run away in that direction. Leo, can we go save them?
I will mark the building with vital activity.
We'll do our best, Sylvise. We can only try. Alright, pull the enemy away from structures. Destroy them with melee attacks.
We have shot down the enemy.
Oh god, survivor right there. Is that the church? Sylvise will cry if the person taking refuge in the church is killed, so let's try not to let that happen.
We will cease battle position.
Alright, that seemed to go reasonably well. Oh man, look at all these structures ripe for destruction. Pull the enemy away, pull the enemy away. Okay, well, I tried.
Enemy battle.
I don't think there were survivors in that one.
I recommend you initiate a one-on-one battle in distant conditions.
Nope, I'm going to attack the enemy close up, Ada, because that is the most reliable way for us to not miss with range attacks and blow up infrastructure. As for the enemy, it's, well, hard to control what they're going to do. Okay, okay. Next group. There's a survivor. Pull the enemy away from where the survivor is. It's one thing if infrastructure is destroyed. It's worse if lives are lost. Okay. Getting close, getting close. Okay. Alright, I like fighting Cyclops, or Cyclopes is the proper plural for Cyclops, in these SOS missions, because they prefer close-range combat. Okay. Pull them up, pull them up, pull them up. Alright, and now for the mummy head. So one, I guess you could maybe say downside of this game, is we do spend the bulk of the game fighting these same 3 enemy types over and over. The raptors, the mummy heads, and the cyclopes. You could say the game is a little minimalistic with its content. That doesn't entirely bother me. There's something almost kind of attractive about the minimalist approach. But it would be nice if there was a little more variety in the enemy types. I mean, they do add some variety by having you know, the enemy can have different programs, they have different levels of strength, sometimes they arm different weapons. So it's not like you fight the exact same 3 enemy types all the time, but it's the same 3 basic types all the time.
We have obtained the Metatron ore. Mission accomplished. I will report damage to neighboring areas from this battle. Many buildings were damaged. No casualties.
You did it!
So we got a result of C. However, Selvis was much happier for us when we managed to save everybody. And isn't that what really counts? Alright, well, good job to us. I would also say that saving all the lives is more important than saving all the infrastructure, even though it would be most ideal to do both. I think the blue cube is just Metatron. We don't need it, so let's get out of here. So I sort of vaguely remember this next part of the game, which we had to go to, what was it? Factory 1, that was it, right? No, City 1. I didn't even remember correctly. Okay, destroy the EPS relay block. And, oh yeah, you can throw enemies you've grabbed at other enemies. Maybe I'll practice that and try to do some of that. I don't generally make a whole lot of use of that. Maybe I should make more use of it, because it's good fun, grabbing enemies and then tossing them at other enemies. But anyway, I vaguely remember this next part of the game. It actually gets a little puzzly here, believe it or not. This doesn't seem like it would be a puzzly game, but this part does. And we have to fly back and forth between different areas a whole lot during the next phase of the game, if my memory is accurate.
The energy field has already reached the city.
No sign of vital activity in this block. I assume the microwave energy field has eliminated all vital forms.
It's awful.
So, what do you suggest?
Destroy the EPS relay block at the base of the shaft.
You mean I shoot from here?
Yes, but it is a long shot. Besides, Jehuty's energy weapons will not work within the field. We should find some primitive long-distance weapon to impact the target physically.
Where can we find such a weapon?
We have confirmed the conditions at the target. Let us leave now and locate a suitable weapon.
Okay, so we come here, take a look at the shaft, which is pretty awesome looking. That rotating cylinder at the base of the shaft looks an awful lot like the thing we have to destroy in that one Star Fox mission at that satellite, doesn't it? It's like exactly the same. Anyway, I didn't mean to actually encounter any enemies, because it's time to just leave. Nothing for us to do here yet. We came here just to take a look at it and realize that we can't fire through the energy field. Also, imagine getting microwaved to death by a giant microwave energy field. That would be an awful way to die. BAHRAM claims to be a rebellious group fighting for the independence of the Enders against Earth, but they clearly do not give a crap about the Enders, considering what they're doing to the colony here. Let's see. So now our mission is find a long-distance bullet weapon necessary to destroy the relay block. Alright, so we're just going to have to investigate the different areas until we find it. I don't remember where it is. Let's try Factory 1 first. Let's see. This doesn't look promising, does it? There's no passcodes, no servers, so I don't think this is right. Let's get out of here. Okay, we were just in City 1. It's not in the same place as where we were. Okay, Town 1 maybe. There's only so many places to check. Well, this doesn't look promising either, so area change. By process of elimination, it has to be Town 2, right? There's nowhere else to go.
I detect a vector trap.
Yep.
It appears there is a hidden object in this area.
Vector trap?
It is one of the Metatron-related technologies. Jehuty's weapon storage system and the Urenbeck catapult are some of its applications. When you apply high-energy and high-speed rotation to Metatron, you can observe an effect where false space is pulled into the direction of its axis. By simultaneously putting an object at the equilibrium point of compression and expansion, space will recover to its normal condition.
That's enough. I can't understand you. Say it more simply.
Destroy the objects called Porter in this area, and then something will happen.
That's all I wanted to know.
There are several Porters. They are small, and besides, you cannot lock onto them, so be careful when you search for them.
I think that little exchange there did a good job of illustrating what I mean when I say, yeah, some of the wording is awkward, but the voice acting in this game is pretty good.
Damage to the surroundings increasing.
Ada has some good low-key snideness with that, and then something will happen.
We have destroyed a Porter.
And as I recall, Leo was actually voiced by a little boy who was, at the time, about the same age as the character. Which is why he actually sounds like a little boy, and not, for example, a grown woman trying to sound like a little boy or whatever. Or a grown man trying to make his voice high-pitched to sound like a little boy. So that's kind of cool. And I guess maybe minor spoiler alert, Leo does reappear in the sequel a few years older, and was voiced by the same person again, which is why he literally sounds like the same person but now a teenager instead of a little kid. And I don't know, I just think that's really cool. So I think we're going to have to maybe just wipe out all the enemy groups so they don't bother us while we're trying to destroy the Porters. I almost wonder if Porter was a mistranslation and it's supposed to be Portal, which would kind of make sense considering what they do. And Porter and Portal, I'm pretty sure, would be pretty similarly transliterated, like from English into Japanese, because of the fact that their R's and L's aren't distinguished from one another. And so then when you transliterate it back into English, it's entirely possible you could go from portal to like portaru in Japanese, and then mistranslate it back in as porter when you translate it back into English. I don't know for a fact that's what happened, but it's possible. No, okay, see, I tried to grab there, but I ended up taking... Oh, that is a new weapon, isn't it? We just got lasered by one of the mummy heads. I remembered that they got lasers. The lasers are a pain to deal with, especially when they're in groups. I seem to remember that if you're fighting groups of mummy heads with the laser beam weapons, that it's one of the most difficult things in the game. We're just blowing up the whole area, but there's no survivors here, so who cares? I'm more concerned with not getting killed. There we go, we did a little fencing with that guy. Okay, anybody else? Alright, looks like we're free to just go around and destroy the Porters now, which is kind of an annoying pain in the butt. Like, why can't we lock onto them? I understand to not want to make them lock on targets when we're fighting, because locking onto one of these when you want to fight enemies would be real annoying. But why not be able to lock onto them when not in battle? That would have made this less irritating to do. So that little cutscene that we had, discussing the various uses of Metatron, that's why I was saying it's basically a magical space MacGuffin. That it just enables all kinds of borderline supernatural effects. Doesn't bother me. I am not a person that thinks that sci-fi needs to be hard sci-fi. That's, to me, not what stories are about. So, yeah, I'm not a hard sci-fi kind of person. I like hard sci-fi, but I don't think that sci-fi has to be hard sci-fi in order to qualify. Oops.
Vector trap has been released.
Okay. And she mentioned the Urimbek catapult, which I think folds space to be able to launch spacecraft at very, very high speeds, which obviously would make space travel a lot more convenient. And that it is part of Jehuti's weapon storage system. Basically, it allows you to store matter in false space, another dimension, essentially, and then pull it back out again. So you can have a single orbital frame that can carry tons and tons and tons of weapons because it stores them in false space using Metatron when they're not in use. Okay, so I guess this is the thing that was released by the Vector Trap. Let's grab it.
We have obtained the item.
Sniper rifle.
This is what we'll use.
A primitive weapon from Earth. It should work.
All right, let's head for the shaft.
Ada calls it primitive, but apparently it works where her fancy high-tech weapons don't, so I don't think there's any need for the derision. Alright, back to City 1. And if you think this is the end of the hunting around for items to be able to proceed, oh no. I remember there is a lot of that in this whole part of the game. Okay, so I'm probably going to want to clear out the enemies so they don't bother me while I'm trying to snipe out the little white squares in the rotating cylinder. I noticed that our level in the lower left corner of the screen is increasing. It's up to 3 now, and I knew the laser guys were a pain. Okay, am I stuck on the side of the screen? Because I was trying to strafe and I couldn't. Damn it! I hate these guys. Get wrecked! Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm trying to strafe into the central shaft and I can't because it's blocked by that force field. That is not making matters any easier when I can't side dodge. Okay, here we go. Okay, this guy's just got the phalanx weapon.
We are heading for the outer area of the battle zone. We have shot down the enemy.
Okay, we have some phalanx ammo now, so maybe I should demonstrate that against another enemy group.
We are heading for the outer area of the battle zone.
These guys. I don't remember the phalanx weapon being particularly good, but we'll at least take a look at it. Yeah, the enemy just puts up their shield and blocks it is typically what happens. And it doesn't do much damage in any case. But you can, you know... Oh, okay, that guy threw us and did a lot of damage. But you can kind of spray an area with bullets.
We have shot down the enemy. We have obtained the Metatron ore.
We'll go ahead and use it a little more just so that we can see it. Okay, I can't move through that. Oh. Okay, apparently that force field isn't just around the shaft. It's blocking that entire side of the map, so that's why I can't get at those guys. Alright, fine. Hopefully they'll stay over there on their side then. Okay, now hopefully we can snipe out the cylinder in peace. I want to get a good angle on it, which is a little annoying. Okay, more to the right, please. Ugh. I guess it's good for suppressing a laser dude so that he can't fire his lasers at you. Did he move onto the other side of the force field? Because that's incredibly unfair. Yeah, the damage is so crap. I'm just in his face spraying him with bullets. He doesn't seem to care. But as I was saying, I noticed that our level seems to be increasing. I don't know if that means that we do more damage and take less damage. Probably that's what it means. I also don't know what causes our level to increase. I don't know if it's like experience based and as we kill more enemies our own level goes up. Yeah, I don't remember any of that. Okay. Alright, hopefully we can now snipe in peace. Now I'm going to have to line myself up again. Okay, that's pretty good. Hopefully. Okay, how picky is it going to be about our aim? Also, I can't really see my aiming cursor. Okay, there it is. Found it. Okay, that's one. 2, 3.
Destroy the EPS relay block
4.
at the base of the shaft by using a long-distance weapon.
I'm literally in the middle of doing that, Ada. AI glitch. Okay, that was easy.
The target is confirmed.
I did it!
EPS has switched its power supply to an emergency generator. Power is still being supplied to the EPS by an emergency generator we were unable to destroy. But since the field has shrunk, we can now approach the EPS antennas on top of the mountains.
Next target is a couple of antennas.
Okay, so the sequence of going from area to area to area to be able to proceed to bring down the microwave field continues, but these guys have a passcode, so let's go take care of them. I'll switch back to the javelin, though I don't really make too much use of the sub-weapons in general. Okay, let's... I kind of want to... No. Every time I go to do a grab, the enemy just slashes me in the face. I don't have much luck with the grab in general, to be honest. So I don't think I'm going to be making heavy use of it in my playthrough.
We have obtained the passcode.
Geyser.
Cease battle position. We are heading for the outer area of the battle zone.
By the way, I do quite like the music in this game as well. It fits. It fits the action on screen and stuff. Okay, looks like... And that's green, so we just got the passcode for it. Let's go grab the geyser. It's probably our next sub-weapon. I think I know what it is, and I think it's basically useless. But we'll grab everything.
We have obtained the program.
Okay, so now we have geyser, but we need to get ammo for it. Alright, and once again, we're approaching half an hour. This seems like a good stopping point. So, next episode, we're going to go to the EPS antennas, see if we can destroy them to bring down the microwave field, so that we can leave this area. Hopefully, you'll join me for that, and I will see you then.